You're listening to the Wellness Life Podcast, episode number 2. I'm your host, Megan Kennedy, holistic nutritionist, owner of the health food store Natural Vibe, and founder of thewellnesslife.ca. On this show, we will be talking about all things wellness, such as nutrition, mindset, lifestyle, and more. Join me and other wellness experts as we discuss tips to help you live a healthier lifestyle, look and feel your best, and achieve your highest potential. Welcome to The Wellness Life. This week, I'm going to share with you a game changer in my life. Something that I've recently begun doing that's made a huge difference in my mood, productivity, and overall wellness, and that is how to master your mornings. Okay, I'll be honest, for the first 2 years after my son was born, my morning routine consisted of getting every last minute of sleep in, scrambling to make breakfast, getting my son ready, getting myself ready, making lunches, and rushing out the door. My mornings were a big, mad rush, and although sometimes they still are, I've come to terms with a couple of things. Number 1, having to rush in the morning causes me a lot of unneeded anxiety and definitely doesn't set me up for success. Number 2, I needed to find time for me. It's so crazy that when we get married and have kids, that time for ourselves becomes our last priority. What I realized is that until I made a conscious decision to do things differently, I wasn't going to be able to accomplish all the things I wanted to get done. That is why carving out me time in the mornings became so important. Because, let's be honest, after a long day of work, getting supper ready, putting your child to bed, I don't know about you, but I am tired. So that leaves the morning before everyone else gets up. So here are 6 things I do to master my mornings. Number 1, wake up at 5 a.m. If you're like me and your kids are a little unpredictable on when they wake up, my son usually wakes up between 6 and 7:30 a.m. So I know if I get up at 5 a.m., most days I will get at least 1 hour of me time. By the way, when that alarm goes off and you want to sleep 1 more hour, remember that you usually end up feeling worse later on and miss out on that precious time. Things I wanted to accomplish, such as working out or taking time for my thoughts, felt like the last thing possible, and I knew that the only solution was that I had to wake up earlier. Let me tell you, the first few days of this is tough. You end up being tired by 7 p.m., but if you can make an earlier bedtime a priority, this is the key to carving out more time for yourself. Number 2, drink water. I know, a no-brainer, right? Wrong. I'm in the health industry, and there were points in my mama journey that I would first reach for a cup of coffee when I definitely know better. When we sleep, we end up losing about 1 liter of water. So instead of grabbing a coffee as soon as you wake up, try rehydrating with 1 to 2 glasses of water. Number 3, quick workout. Hands up if you get these big plans to work out every day for 2 hours, and then you start with day 1, maybe make it to day 2, and by day 3, you're over it. That was me every time. What has worked for me is committing to smaller, consistent workouts. When I started, my goal was to go up and down the stairs 10 times. That's it. How crazy is that? But you know what? I'm going to be completely honest. That was hard, but it didn't take much time and I could commit to it. And that's the big thing. There's something in our self-conscious that when we start keeping promises to ourselves, our confidence grows and we're more likely to stick to it. So when you set unrealistic goals, you end up disappointing yourself and give up. So my advice would be to start small, very small, and do that for 1 to 2 weeks until you can add something else in that's realistically to commit to. And don't forget, these small, consistent actions will eventually add up to big results. Number 4, meditate. This is one that I still struggle with, but no matter how much my mind wanders, I always feel lighter and brighter when I'm finished. So I use a free app called Oak, which has a timed, unguided meditation. They have a setting called running water, which I really like, but they have a lot of different options that you can choose from. And basically you can set it up for as many minutes as you want. I've made my way up to 20 minutes, but the way that I got there was starting small. So start first with 5 minutes and be consistent. Your mind will wander like crazy, but there are a few things that I find help. So number 1, I have a mantra or affirmation such as, I'm healthy, happy, and radiant. So every time my mind wanders, I think of that phrase. The other thing that I do is I imagine myself sitting on a bank, watching the water flow by, and when thoughts come into my mind, I picture them sitting on a log or a leaf that is floating down the water. If you prefer, you can also try a guided meditation, and I love the meditation by Deepak and Oprah, and I sometimes use that before bed, which I find helps me fall asleep. Number 5, after my meditation, I like to enjoy a keto coffee. So I prefer not to eat right away in the morning, so I usually end up enjoying a keto coffee that contains healthy fats, and I find that sustains me until I'm ready for my breakfast smoothie. So my keto coffee includes MCT oil, which boosts the metabolism, grass-fed collagen, grass-fed butter. I also sometimes add a couple drops of vanilla stevia, and I blend that up in my blender, and it creates this frothy, delicious keto coffee. While I drink my keto coffee, I then take time to write or read. So something that's always been really important to me is to constantly be growing as a person, learning new things, getting my thoughts out on paper. Did you know that Einstein said that if anyone spends 15 minutes a day learning something new, in a year he or she will be an expert? Isn't that crazy? I originally was leaving this for the end of the day, and guess what? It never happened. I also realized that my brain works way better in the morning. So make a goal, pick something you want to improve on. Maybe it's a book on relationships or parenting. Maybe it's taking time to do a hobby you love or grow your side biz. For me, it was writing. I never had time to write during my day, and that's how my blog and podcast started. If I never made the time, you wouldn't be listening to this right now. So there you have it. That is how I master my morning. I know everyone's morning is going to look a little different, but trust me, you will feel happier and more patient if you set some time aside for yourself. Start small, commit to 30 minutes every day, 10-minute workout, 10-minute meditation, 10-minute reading, and remember that small, consistent changes really do add up to big results. Thank you so much for listening. And to show my appreciation for hitting subscribe and leaving a review, I will be picking a winner the first of every month who will receive a customized 7-day meal plan from yours truly. And if you'd like a glimpse into how I live my best wellness life, follow me on Instagram at thewellnesslife.ca. Remember, you have to nourish to flourish. See you next time.